this is where Sammy would come in with her extreme knowledge of energy drinks that she obviously takes. It was the Rockstar Blue Raspberry, which is on special at Tesco at the moment, so I quite like that. Elements of slush puppy in that. Over at Bellevue, mid-40s turnout saw lots of different winners. Heat wins for Paul Prest and Stephen Mallinson. And if Samantha was here, she'd be over the moon because her driver, Michael Lund, 995, her number when she was in Minis and Bangers. But the final was done in dry conditions, and as the shell began to wear away, it was throwing up rocks left, right and centre. But it was Martin Chadwick who was victorious, which I think was possibly his first ever final win, which is quite good. Then alongside in the Grand National, Mick Howarth in 735 took that one in the Grand National. So, quickly, then we'll go to a break, and again we'll get Steve Gilbert on the line, and we'll be talking about the purple meetings of the weekend.
Missed an episode of Stocks Radio? I feel your pain, brother. Missing an episode can bring on mental episodes and life-changing circumstances. However, there is a solution on the horizon. iTunes! Simply open up iTunes, go to podcasts and search for Stocks Radio. Hit subscribe and it doesn't cost you a penny. And the next episode is dropped straight into your listening device. Rate, review and subscribe and never miss an episode again. Warning, missing an episode doesn't actually bring on mental episodes. Your experience may differ. Yet stops can go down as well as up. Your home is at risk if you set fire to it.
Those Johnny Good Eggs at Stocks Radio need you. Yes, you, dear listener. We need reporters to give us interviews on the spot. Fancy yourself as the next Steve Linfield? Commentary gigs are available. Or if you just want to get Gummy on air, like my grill, we have that too. Just drop us a line at Stocks Radio, on Twitter, facebook.com/Stocks Radio, or indeed visit our site at stocksradio.co.uk. Okay, spiffing.
Missed an episode of Stocks Radio? I feel your pain, brother. Missing an episode can bring on mental episodes and life-changing circumstances. However, there is a solution on the horizon. iTunes! Simply open up iTunes, go to podcasts and search for Stocks Radio. Hit subscribe and it doesn't cost you a penny. And the next episode is dropped straight into your listening device. Rate, review and subscribe and never miss an episode again. Warning, missing an episode doesn't actually bring on mental episodes. Your experience may differ. Yet stops can go down as well as up. Your home is at risk if you set fire to it.
Missed an episode of the FT show? Missed this?
Or a 3-2-1. Perhaps he should have won a Dusty Din.
Yes, the spirit of Ted Rogers still lives on. 3-2-1. I'm doing the gesture now.
One-on-one? No?
Pistol leaders, we are there for the drivers.
What about some of our race commentaries? You missed that?
Both go out! They both go out! Up Michael Stewart takes it! On the line! Don't worry, you can listen again on Spreaker.com/Stocks Radio, and you can even download and keep them and put them on your MP3 player and listen to them on the way to the track.
Like some people do. Weirdos.
Is it true red wine gives you more girth?
Oh, that's so hard. You can't ask me that. That's horrible.
This is the FT show.
Leave your Rottweiler at home. Put out your fatty and no high-vis jacket required. This is the F2 show.
Hello, welcome back to the F2 show here on Stocks Radio. Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcoming you back. Remember, you can get involved. Usual methods at Stocks Radio on Twitter. Facebook.com/Stocks Radio is the other method. Stocks Radio Talking Shop on Facebook, and also Spreaker.com/Stocks Radio. Click on the chat button and we'll get your messages through to air that way. Now, joining us now is a man who has had double glory this weekend past, and that is the man they call the Mini Undertaker, the apprentice, as his dad's calling him. That's Stephen Gilbert. Good evening, Stephen.
Good evening, Jonny. Right?
Yeah, good evening. So, Steve, quite a weekend for you over Whitsun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose you could say it was alright.
Because obviously you were obviously down at St Day. You had 15 cars for company, which was a little bit disappointing, but I think that was the same across the country there. It's you and Tom Clark really scrapping it out at St Day, wasn't it?
Yeah, the two heats were fairly close, to be fair. The final was a little bit more controlled. Obviously, we're running off the blue, which it made my work a little bit easier. It was just trying to keep the distance between the reds.
And obviously, you're running off blue at this precise moment in time. You weren't exactly too enamoured with the new grading system, but you certainly have obviously benefited from that now, because obviously you're now safely in the reds as a result of the weekend's racing. And obviously the previous week at Skegness, where you had 2 thirds in the final, which is 2 double point thirds, which is always good to do, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think not my opinion on the new point system. I personally think it's a joke, but we won't go too far into that.
But okay, so we're getting into the points situation now. Obviously, you're down at St Day, you were won there. It was a trophy that you haven't picked up in your time, but certainly it is a unique trophy that you won there, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a very unique trophy. It was actually one of my sponsors that was sponsoring the meeting that I managed to obviously win, which was quite a fitting trophy for a fitting race, to be honest.
Exactly. Frontline Security, one of your big sponsors, and they sponsored the meeting, and obviously it was probably fitting that you did win that one, isn't it?
It was a pleasure to win it with all of his help. I can't thank those guys enough, because without their help, I probably wouldn't be in the gear that I've got. With all due respect to them, I know they thought of everything into me that they can, but every last bit of help from my sponsors, very highly thanked and appreciated.
Obviously, your first season in Formula 2, absolutely blistering, almost taking major plaudits there, having a say in all the big races, including the World Final up at Upper Cowan and Beef, which we'll gloss over a little bit, especially if you're listening, Barry Golden. But it was a case that you had an absolute cracking first year, but the second year was very challenging for you. Do you think that's helped you in your third season here at in Formula 2? The things you learned. Well,
it's hard to say, really. They always say that the second season's harder than the first. But to be perfectly honest with you, I found the second season a bit easier because I was in faster equipment. It was just the fact that I was too fast for my own good at sometimes.
So, you have obviously so talk us through the final that you had. So it was a case that you just broke away from the pack at in the blues at St Day, and just literally went away, and that was it, not to be caught.
To be fair, I started off the back of the way, but I was only stopping really inside. I felt like I was behind Gary Sullivan for 2 or 3 laps. Managed to pass him and just gap in. And with about, I think it was 7 or 8 laps to go, I was fairly safe in the lead, to be honest. Nobody would have caught me. And the yellows came out. It was a restart, and I think it was Justin Fisher behind me, and then Tom Clark, and then US Geach.
That's Sammy.
And I managed to just gap him. Say again?
That's Sammy, always throwing yellows at inappropriate times.
Yeah, something like that. I was swearing a bit in the car at the time, to be fair. I wasn't on. Yeah. Anyway, we're 8 to go, restart, and just, to be honest, there's people saying that I jumped the start, but whatever. That wasn't a decision on the day. Yeah, just managed to maintain that gap, if not gain a bit more after the green again. The car came on really good on the last few laps, to be fair.
Yeah, so promising down at St Day. I mean, obviously St Day, it was the day of the clash. Obviously, you do love Bristol as well, and obviously you are doing quite well in the points championship there as well. But obviously now St Day, you're probably well up in the points there, aren't you?
Second or first, I think.
You and Geechee, isn't it?
It was depending on how Lewis done the Grand National. To be fair, I haven't checked yet.
So there you go. So that potentially could be your first track championship, which will be good. Certainly something that I don't think your dad ever won St Day Track Championship, did he? I think he was just Taunton and Newton Abbott he won, wasn't it? And Bristol. So
no, I think. Oh, I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest with you. He's got that many trophies back to dig out.
That's always the thing. Obviously, with your dad, obviously being the racer that he was, and obviously being the coach, motivator, and the like for you. Is that more of a help or hindrance? His experience and his race experience, because obviously he raced in a slightly different time to yourself. Do you think it's you would have struggled in his era, or would you have benefited more in his era?
To be honest, Johnny, I don't know. That's a question that perhaps you'd be better off asking him, because he can see it all from the outside at the moment. To be honest, he's a nightmare to work with, but I absolutely love him. It'll be a pit fault in a race that I drive perfect, if you understand what I mean. But, that's what makes us better and all that. So
he's striving for perfection, which is always good, isn't it? So, let's move on to the Monday. Obviously, slightly bigger field as the two camps kind of merged together with a few additional people there, and it was quite a busy turnout, but not as busy as normal at Taunton, but certainly enough for 2 heats in the Conti. And let's just have a look at this one here. So Justin took one of the heats, and you took the other one, didn't you?
Yeah. The heat race was fairly good. It was sort of standard procedure: go out, get pole blue, and just again control the race. Really, don't do anything silly. I mean, just do it at home.
And in consolation's worth noting that Ben Liverland took his first ever win in Formula 2 after some help from Team Silliphant in the consolation. Then in the final, it's a scrap between you and John Palmer, wasn't it?
The first 3 or 4 laps, yeah. Palmer started back blue, and we sort of had a bit of a scuffle, like beating each other wide for a few corners. And to be fair, I just got the lucky break. Really, I'd done just enough to get pulled 2 or 3 car lengths, and then just the same again, really, just managing to keep the gap all the way through, really.
And of course then, obviously, once you had your win, it was a small matter of moving things across and moving things out the way, and there you were in a Grand National with a healthy place at the end of the National, wasn't it?
To be honest, I couldn't believe it. I came over the line and sort of signalled to Dad, like, where was it? And he said, fourth. And yeah, it was mad. I remember watching, like, Chris Bradbury a few years back when he was getting those positions. It's like, I never thought I'd be able to do it, to be honest.
Was that with a yellow flag or without?
Without a yellow flag, John.
Without a yellow flag? Let me know.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Gordon, that's how you do it. No, we don't say that. It's a running joke. It's a running joke we have on here, as you know, Steve. That we're guessing the result of the Grand National before it's even run. Most days, don't we, Stuart?
Indeed, yep.
Yeah, it's basically if Moody wins the final, Burgoyne wins the National, and Gordon's 6th.
It's all become too predictable, isn't it?
It's all become very predictable up in Scotland. But where do you stand on the split situation then, with regards to having a split meeting at obviously that day with St Day and Bristol?
Well, to be honest, it couldn't have affected me any more than it did, to be fair. I was in the lead of the points at Bristol at the time. Like I said to Dad, if it wasn't for the fact that the front line was sponsoring the meeting at Alton, I probably would have went across to Bristol to try and hold the point speed. As it's turned out, I don't think I've lost too many points. Anyway, it's just that Chris had, 90 points now?
Yeah, and it's the Westerns and the people like that who are probably the ones that you had to keep an eye on there. But I would say personally, I don't know the points off the top of my head. I should be, because it's my track at the end of the day, which I'm commentating at, and when it comes to the crunch at the end of September, when we're trying to figure out who's going to win the track championship, I won't have the luxury of having Well, like Steve did last year, having me in the pits working out the points.